Hey guys, I am Andy and it is Whiteboard Wednesday where we unpack information that helps your church. If you could do us a huge favor, please like and share this video so we can continue putting out content like this for you guys every single week. Welcome to our final video in our series of picking a camera for your church ministry. It's been a good 3 weeks of a lot of different cameras, but this week we're here with Alan again, who is here to kind of wrap this all up and help us to get started with testimony and welcome videos. Thanks for being with us again, Alan.
Man, hey, I'm glad to be back. Yeah. I'm starting to feel like family here.
Yeah, you really are, man. You've been family.
Yeah,
man.
So this week we're going to look at, I'm going to do it just a little bit differently this week where in the past few weeks we've really jumped right into the cameras. So actually this week, one thing that's kind of cool is a lot of these cameras I think people are going to be a little bit familiar with. Maybe not everybody, but some of these cameras we've already talked about. These are probably the cameras that you're already looking at purchasing. So I know the past couple weeks we talked about why you would pick a different one for a green screen. The week before that, why you'd pick a different one for live streaming. So this week, these are probably a little bit more mainstream cameras, if you will. So what I'm going to do in the beginning here is spend a little bit of time talking about how to work with volunteers in front of the camera. And this is super important. I know that both of us are volunteers at our church. We've been on camera before. And for anybody, it's not always natural to get in front of a camera, even if you're used to being...
Even if you think
right,
maybe,
yeah.
Or if, I'm good in front of a camera.
Yeah, or sometimes even you're comfortable being in front of people, but maybe not in front of a camera. So I know we've experienced that ourselves. Absolutely. So I want to give you some tips, both from being behind the camera. I've worked behind the camera with volunteers, and I also want to give you some tips from the perspective of being a volunteer. So first of all, let's get right into it here. First of all, work with a script or a storyboard. And this is not only going to help your volunteer, this is going to help you. This is going to keep things from kind of dragging out and taking a long time. You have a place that you're going, there is a goal line that you're shooting for, and having that script or storyboard is really going to help. This is specifically helpful with announcement videos if you're using a teleprompter, but it's also helpful if you're doing a testimony video and you want to capture really good B-roll, which we're going to talk about later, to know what shots you want to get. This will speed things up a little bit. So number 2, set up everything ahead of time. And I'll tell you why I recommend this. If you're working with a volunteer, their nerves are already just a little bit fried. They've been thinking about it before they're ready to go on camera, and there's nothing worse than getting there on time, ready to go. You've almost talked yourself out of it, and you've got to sit and wait on them. You were ready to leave. And at that point, you get there, and the person is setting up the camera and the tripod, and he says, "Get yourself something to drink. I've got to work on these lights," and it just makes you more nervous. You're going to mess up more. So for the sake of both the person doing the filming and the volunteer, it really helps to have everything set up and ready to go ahead of time. So if you are the one shooting, get there early, make sure everything's set up, and that way when the volunteer gets there, you can just knock it out. It's a lot easier on them, and you won't burn out your volunteers. So number 3, eliminate distractions. Now, this could probably go without saying, but I don't know how many times that I've worked with a volunteer, or I've even been in that position myself, and maybe I bring the kids along or something like that, and they start becoming the phone ring, another great example. So there's all these things that can distract, and what happens is it drags it out longer, and there's other things that you're thinking about. I know for me with my kids, I'm thinking, what are they getting into? Are they doing something they shouldn't? So if you know one of your volunteers or several of your volunteers are bringing their children, maybe line somebody up ahead of time that can kind of work with them or just give them something to do. Cell phones, remind your talent that they want to silence their cell phone or perhaps set it off camera someplace else. So try to eliminate all of those distractions, and that's going to be really helpful. Let's do one more here. Define the time that you'll be finished. Now, this is good because, and Andy, you do up next videos, and I know that sometimes that's our announcement videos. We call them up next. And I know sometimes, I've only been there maybe a handful of times, but you get there and you know it's going to start, and then you're hoping the next person finishes on time so that you can get started, and there's a schedule that kind of goes with it.
And one goes late, then next
and everything gets pushed back,
and
then somebody's texting the next person. And so here's one of the things I recommend for this. If you're working with volunteers and you, first of all, definitely define your end time, but here's a couple ways you can do that. One, and this is a little bit more stressful for you and maybe not the volunteer, but one way is to schedule something like that right before another church event. That's got to start on time. So you know you're going to get wrapped up. Now, this you've got to be careful with this, because this can also put some pressure on the talent or the volunteer that's going in front of the camera to get it done. So you may want to leave a little bit of a window, but that's one helpful way. Here's another helpful way. Schedule a meal or something like that afterwards. And so maybe say, hey guys, this is what we're going to do. We're going to shoot our announcement videos. The whole team is going to come in and shoot, and then we're going to go to brunch. We're going to try to be there at 10:30. And with that, you get a little bit of a window, so that's helpful. And then your volunteers also know, hey, we're about to wrap this up because we're going to brunch. This has a time that's going to be defined in. And so this is helpful just to get people behind the camera, because everybody's nervous about it.
And you get the bonus of brunch after.
Right,
so you're
right.
Like, hey,
so
I'll do some volunteer
another
work.
great way to get your volunteers to come out. I know, hey, we would be there for brunch. I've done it before.
Yeah. Yes.
So I remember, hey, a quick story. I went to a video shoot not long ago for our church, and it got rained out. We went to brunch anyway.
Hey, there you go.
Can't beat that.
Don't have to do the thing.
I know.
Yeah.
There's nothing better. So number 6, I skipped number 4. We're going to come up to number 4. Give authentic affirmation. Now this is important.
When you say authentic.
Yes. Yeah. Because I don't know if you do this, but I try to be positive. I know you're a super positive guy. We work together. And it's helpful to stand behind the camera, maybe nod as they're set, give them approval that they're doing well, because the whole time that they're in front of the camera, they're thinking, oh no, I'm going to mess up, I'm doing something wrong, I'm saying something wrong. Give them affirmation and then make sure it's authentic. So one thing you don't want to do is, no, stop, we're starting it over. We're starting it over, that's not going to work. Cut. This is not something you want to do. This is going to defeat your talent or your volunteers. They're not going to enjoy being behind the camera when you're constantly stopping to change. So one piece of advice I would give is let them run all the way through it. Do not stop them. And then whenever it's completed, if there are changes that you want to make, just say, hey, that was good, but I'd like to get one more because I know you can do it better. But at this point, there's no pressure. What we've got is already good. Let's just try to do it better. Hey, maybe mention something that they could smile just a little bit more. I know you feel like you're smiling too much and it looks awkward. It doesn't. You can smile the whole time. So give them a few pointers, but never stop and cut and no, that's not good enough, and your shirt is a bad color, and did you even iron that? No. You've got to stay positive, and it's got to be authentic. So give them some affirmation. There's nothing better than a head nod when you're standing behind the camera, just to let people know that they're doing what they ought to. So we're out of order here. Number 6, get plenty of B-roll. This is great because they're going to mess up. Somebody's going to mess up. And so you can use that B-roll to go over the top of whenever they might mess up. And then you can also, right, if they make a face, because how many times have we done that? And we tell the editor, hey, don't put that on camera. That turned out bad. But with the B-roll, it's also helpful to be descriptive and to kind of show people what you're talking about. So if you're the person on the announcement video is talking about a church barbecue, it's great to have footage from last year's church barbecue. So that might be something you've thought about ahead of time. Or you might just want to grab some B-roll, which is the secondary footage if you don't know what that is, of some church events or some signage or anything like that you can throw on there so they don't have to look at the same person just the entire time like you guys are having to do right here. So B-roll is great. So let's talk real quick here. I'm going to move quick through a few cameras. I think a lot of you guys will be familiar with these. We've talked about some already. Panasonic G7 and G85, this will be the low-tier, entry-level, great cameras to get started with. These will come in starting at around $500 or $600 depending on the kit that you get. These shoot 4K. The G85 has image stabilization. The G7 doesn't. Next level up, you've got the GH4 and the GH5. We talked about the GH5 last week. It has 10-bit color depth, which is great for green screening. The GH4 is a solid camera as well. It doesn't have the 10-bit. It does shoot slow-mo, 4K, tons of great options there. Definitely consider that. Next level up here, the Sony A7S and the Sony A7S II. These are great cameras. They're low-light monsters. So if low light is important to you, you will not get better than this camera right here. They're very affordable. They're going to come in probably at around a couple $1,000s. I say very affordable. I guess that could be whatever your ministry would deem that. It may not be affordable for you, but Great place to get started with a low light camera. This is just going to be a beast in low light. Does shoot 4K, and the A7S II has the image stabilization in camera as well. So a couple other cameras here, Canon C100 and C100 Mark II. We use the C100 at our church, or we used it. We've actually just swapped it out for the Ursa, which we're going to talk about in a minute. I still own a C100, super sharp, great in low light, great run and gun. Everything comes on the camera, the ergonomics, I love it. This is the only camera on my list that doesn't shoot 4K, but I wouldn't let that kind of deter you from buying it. These are great cameras. We've worked with them. The Mark II has a few added features, but honestly, if you want to save some money, go with the Mark I. It's a great camera, super sharp. Next one is Blackmagic Ursa Mini, and there are a few under that. You have the Ursa Mini 4K, 4.6K, and then the Pro. These shoot RAW, they shoot 10 or 12-bit. They're great for green screen. They are not low light cameras. If low light is important, do not buy these cameras. It's not going to be what you need. But the image quality is incredible. They do shoot RAW. They will work for both green screen and shooting B-roll, different things like that. That's what we're shooting on right now, the Ursa Mini. Finally, and this might be really high tier, might be out of your price range here, but the Sony FS5 or the FS7, that's going to be starting at around 5,000 to 6,000, and then maybe 7,000 to 8,000 and up with the FS7. These are excellent cameras. Again, they do shoot 4K. They are great all-around cameras. The audio plugins will all be there for XLR. The preamps are great. The FS7, you have the option to shoot RAW. So there's this is probably going to be out of reach for most people, but these are a couple of great cameras. So here are a ton of great. Again, we have the PDF that you can download, and it has these cameras and more. You can follow the guide to see what is best for your church based on the budget, based on what you're shooting, based on what you like. There's all kinds of great cameras in there, and it's free to download, so why not? I think it'll really help you.
And if you just go to churchhacks.com, you will be able to download it there.
Yes, that is on a blog post.
Yes. So thanks for putting these weeks together for us.
Lots of stuff this week.
No, that's awesome, man. I mean, we hope that you kind of get a guide of the church camera that your church may need, and so we just thank you for putting these together for us, Alan. Thank you for being on Whiteboard Wednesday.
Let me mention the course real quick. We do have the course coming up, and I know that I go way more in depth. I know this has been a little bit longer video, but I go way more in depth on that, and I'm going to be able to explain a lot more. This course is going to be great. I know we've both seen pieces of it as we're wrapping it up here, so stay tuned for more information on that. It's going to be good.
All right, well, this was Whiteboard Wednesday, and we will see you guys next week.